Ladies and gentlemen, now today I wanted to make a full breakdown video having a bit of a chat about Platinumpool, because we've recently got loads of information on how you're going to be able to assemble and get this character, and also we got the full abilities as well to talk about like whether or not the character is worth going for. And to give you the headline on that one, kind of looking through, we'll talk about everything this character does. He seems like very fun, very quirky to play, but he does just seem like a slightly better version overall of Goldpool. And Goldpool, he's not a bad champion, but he's not like a god tier broken champion either. He's pretty good. He works for all sorts of stuff and in certain scenarios, but he is a pretty basic champion. So yeah, don't really expect like too much from Platinumpool, but he does a couple of cool little things, man. And I think is going to be just a better version of Goldpool overall. I don't know if they're going to add him into the the Nick Fury synergy, because I know one thing that's really desirable about Deadpool characters is that Nick Fury synergy combo is really, really nice, especially if you use the Suicide Masteries. So yeah, I've got a bit of a question about that one, but I think we'll see the start of next month. But anyway, Platinumpool has a very interesting way that you assemble this character. So there are a lot of references and jokes, mainly related to Yu-Gi-Oh! So the whole thing about getting Platinumpool is you've got to assemble the 5 pieces of Platinumpool, similar to the 5 pieces of Exodia, the Forbidden One. So this is just like a parody of that. So how do you get these 5 pieces? So the 5 pieces are surprisingly Jack left arm of the Fabulous One, understandably swole right arm of the Fabulous One, strapping young legs of the Fabulous One, beautiful mouth of the Fabulous One, or rippling torso of the Fabulous One. Now, next month, a bundle is going to be available for 2,000 incursion artifacts, and this one gives you the understandably swole right arm of the Fabulous One, and also 8 fabulous crystals. And these fabulous crystals, they guarantee units with a rare chance at any one of the 5 pieces. And once you got the 5 pieces, you can trade them in for a 5-star Platinumpool, and also a Platinumpool profile picture. And I don't know if it gives you the choice or like a random one out of 10 possible profile pictures. However, I think the chance to get a additional piece of Platinumpool from the fabulous crystals is going to be very, very low. So there are going to be additional ways, both in the upcoming months and also the future as well. They do mention that toward the bottom of this post, to get the additional pieces. So there's going to be something in the Black ISO market, there's going to be something in the unit store, there's going to be stuff in login offers, and also stuff in monthly events as well. So I think there's going to be a mixture of these fabulous crystals and also certain stuff that guarantees the pieces. So I would assume, Kabam being a company that likes to make money, in the next 3 months you're probably not going to be able to fully form the character unless you're very, very, very lucky, or you're buying some of the unit store based offers. They do mention that the piece that's included in the bundle in the unit store is going to be the same cost as a Black Panther's treasure. So that's like, $48.99. So yeah, gonna be a little bit pricey, and you'll still need like 3 other pieces on top of that. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what the actual cost is going to be to assemble Platinumpool, and if it's going to be like a little bit better in comparison to obtaining Goldpool, because Goldpool was just like a very long shot for a lot of players, because you had to buy the gold crystal, and then I think you had a 1 in like 10,000 chance per gold crystal to actually get Goldpool, so the chance was very, very low. So this seems like it could potentially be a bit more like a dolphin and whale friendly for people that want to spend money and guarantee that they get the character. But I think over the course of the next year or two, then there's also going to be the opportunity for free-to-play players doing various events and buying various bundles to either guarantee that they get all of the pieces, or lock out on some of the fabulous crystals and get some of the pieces that they are missing to assemble him. But at the moment, it's kind of impossible for anybody to tell how free-to-play friendly this is. But again, as a free-to-play player, man, for all of the effort and resources that you probably need to exchange to form this character, it's really not going to be a character that a lot of people want to go for unless you're a very die-hard collector and you're in that kind of position where your roster is like fully developed. You don't really need to spend your units on anything else, and you can spend, you know, all these units and all these resources just trying to assemble Platinumpool there. So again, I don't think it's a character that's really recommended for the masses, but yeah, that's basically how you assemble the pieces. Again, it does mention for summoners who are unable to collect all 5 Fabulous 1 pieces during this release window, we recommend holding on to any pieces you do collect. All Fabulous 1 pieces will return sometime in the future. Again, it's impossible to say right now whether or not every single piece you're going to be able to get in the future via grinding in game, or whether or not certain pieces, like 1 or 2 pieces, come down to like spending or getting really lucky on the Fabulous crystals. Knowing Kabam, I think at least like 1 or 2 pieces will probably be locked behind getting really lucky on the Fabulous crystals there, just to give this champion a bit of a sense of rarity, I would assume. But again, I may be completely incorrect when it comes to that. Hopefully it's a very free-to-play champion, man. That'd be really, really good. But also, I've been playing a Kabam game for like 4 and a bit years, and free-to-play friendly is not something that really ever comes up, man. I know that they do like to milk the trophy champions a fair bit as well. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But again, Platinumpool, he's kind of like also in terms of his mechanics, very much a parody of a Yu-Gi-Oh style play. So he draws cards and has a card mechanic. Really, his strengths here are bleeds and regeneration. It says versatility as well, but really doesn't have too much utility, especially in comparison to a lot of other mutants. But there are a few like quirky things he does bring to certain matchups. But yeah, going down, he has this one ability which is really, really weird. So when it comes to auto fight, he's going to have like a fast forward mode where time is sped up while he's auto fighting. So I don't know if this is like double or triple, but yeah, this is really interesting. I don't really know like how practical this is going to be to use in a lot of scenarios, but I imagine for big old blubbery whales, the fact that he has like a double layer of regeneration, you know, might be good for doing lesser difficulties. But yeah, I'm not really too sure. I can't imagine that he's going to be like that much better for big old whales in comparison to like a 5-star rank 5 Corvus Glaive Suicides, but it depends like how much this is sped up by. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how that one does work out in auto fight scenarios there. So he has a deck of cards. So at the start of the fight, he's going to draw 3 cards. So there are 4 rarities of card. There's Brown Pants, Common, Rare, and Epic, and the rarity of a card determines the chance it will be drawn. So by default, Brown Pants cards cannot be drawn, and Epic cards cannot be drawn when fighting on the final node of a quest. So Platinumpool can also draw duplicates of all common cards, and drawing cards is also not affected by ability accuracy modification. He also has a moderate regeneration when going below 35% max health. Again, like just under 4k over 8 seconds. Really isn't like the biggest regeneration, especially considering I believe the Spotlight is based on a 5-star rank 5 champion here. So yeah, it really isn't the most crazy in comparison. Prestige on the 5-star is alright, but we're kind of at a point where we're looking at like 6-star prestige now. So yeah, it's on 5-star rank 5 here. So the regen, it doesn't seem like anything super amazing there. Unless I'm missing something big, but it's, you know, it's barely 4k on a 5-star rank 5. It's just not like that much of a big number at all. So yeah, that seems a little bit disappointing there. We've also got, when knocked down, Platinumpool has a 25% chance to draw a card when he is knocked down. So that's not really going to see too much use when you're playing the character, unless you're getting smacked about a fair bit. Also basic attacks, and this one's interesting actually, because it pauses the duration of all personal bleed effects for 1 second. So as long as you're playing aggressively, you can stack up bleeds like quite a bit. I imagine it's not going to be like infinite uptime there because you don't refresh them, but it's definitely going to prolong the amount of damage that they can deal, especially the special 1 bleed. So yeah, that one seems a little bit interesting as well. well. Also, we got heavy attacks. So when landing the first hit, gain a prowess buff, increasing special attack damage by 25% for 10 seconds. So I think if you can... chain this on and it stacks up and then go into a special attack, then this could deal some really, really nice damage. But yeah, I'm not too sure if this is going to be like that practical, but I'm curious to see how it does work out there. So for Platinumpool Special 1, he's going to inflict a bleed debuff, dealing just under 2,500 damage over 16 seconds. So this is going to go up a little bit with deep wounds. However, this bleed scales with special attack damage. So if that prowess buff stacks off the heavy attacks, and also he does have a way via some of his cards to get more special attack damage, this could be really, really nasty if it stacks up as well. So I'm very curious to see how that bleed damage is going to look in slightly longer fights there, but also Special 2, if the opponent is currently bleeding, he's going to stun them for 2 seconds, and also if he completes his dance after the Special 2, he draws and reveals 1 card. However, the chance to draw a brown pants card is increased each time he draws a card this way, so he's never going to draw a brown pants card at the start of the fight, but every time you do this you run the risk of drawing a brown pants card, and we'll talk about what those cards do in a second. They are not really a good time at all, but also once per fight, if he's interrupted before completing his dance, and I assume you can do this as well, he gains a regeneration buff, recovering just over 2,350 health over 8 seconds. So again, the regeneration really isn't that big overall, and they do list like the regen as being one of the big points of the character, but I'm just not really seeing the numbers in comparison to like OG Deadpool, and his regen I think is slightly worse than Goldpool, might be about the same comparatively speaking, but at least to the best of my memory, I think it's slightly worse overall, but it still gives him like that level of sustainability to move forward in a quest. So having regen is still nice, but it could be a little bit more spicy there. So yeah, use this to draw additional cards, and again, cards can last until the rest of the fight. So these cards can allow you to ramp up a fair bit as well, but also the Special 3 inflicts a bleed debuff, dealing over 3,400 damage over 32 seconds. So it's not really like much more in comparison to the Special 1, but you discard all active cards and draw 3 more. So I think if you've got like a really bad starting hand, this is what you want to go for. But I would imagine in longer fights, when you're drawing cards off the Special 2, you don't want to discard them. So yeah, the Special 3 I think is just for short fights if you have really bad RNG at the start, I would assume there. So yeah, let's have a bit of a chat now about what some of the cards do. So the brown pants card is the penalty for getting a little bit too carried away with the Special 2, which reduces the potency of Platinumpool's block proficiency, perfect block chance, crit rating, and also power rate by 100% for 8 seconds. So it's just an 8-second penalty there, but the block proficiency, man, could really mess you up in the wrong scenario. So it does seem like a bit of a punishment on the brown pants card, and I'm not really too sure with the character's power level, why there is a need for such a punishing card to potentially activate there. So yeah, I'm a little bit curious. But also common cards, we got a small attack booster of 207. Again, not really the best, but you could potentially have 3 of these. Again, that's still not really like the best attack buff in the world, especially for a 5-star rank 5. The heal boosters can increase regeneration rate by 20%. I guess if you gain a couple of these, man, this could be very nice to kind of boost up his base healing a fair bit as well. You've also got the stun booster, which increases the duration of stun debuffs inflicted on the opponent by 30%, and also reduces the duration of stun debuffs inflicted on Platinumpool by 30%. I think this could be potentially really good with the parry mastery. If you even have one of these, it might extend your parry long enough so that you can do like a 7 combo off every parry. If you get like, 2 or 3 of these, man, this could be really crazy for parry. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that one does work there. Then we've got power boost, which is gain a power buff, generating 75% of a bar of power over 20 seconds, and also increases power rate by 10%. So I don't know if that one's only for 20 20 seconds and then goes away. But yeah, I'm a bit curious about that one, man. Seems alright. We've also got special attack boost as well, which increases special attack damage by 15%. And I think you can have multiple of any of the common cards. But when it comes to the what is it, rare and epic ones, then you can only have, what is it, a single one of them. So we've got the first one, which is Blood Drive. So while the opponent is bleeding and Platinumpool has a lower percent of health remaining, attacking the opponent inflicts a bleed debuff, dealing 1038 direct damage over 12 seconds, and this bleed scales as special attack damage. So for some scenarios, man, if you're playing him really, really low, the bleed damage could be pretty crazy there. But you do need to play on the edge, kind of Nick Fury style, but I think if you do get that card, there is some like really, really interesting potential. So yeah, it's just, what is it? Platinumpool just needs to have a lower percent of health remaining and not an actual value. So maybe stuff like Abyss of Legends, Realm of Legends, you might be able to do some pretty crazy stuff. If the bleed debuff stacks, that is. If it doesn't stack, this is going to be a little bit more underwhelming in comparison. But if it does stack and you can pause it, this could be really, really good. And then next up, we got Throwing Fists. So gain up to 200% increased special attack damage for each hit in the combo meter, up to a maximum of 200 hits. And every 15 hits in either champion's combo meter, gain an unblockable buff for 3 seconds. So I think this one, really good utility with the unblockable, because you're going to have that active a fair amount of time, I would assume. I guess not too much, probably like 1 in every 3 combo you've got the unblockable, but if you time this right to avoid certain stuff, it might be some nice utility, man. So I'm curious to see if that one does have some uses there. Then we got Payback. So when Platinumpool hasn't been attacked by the opponent for 7 seconds, gain a Payback passive for 5 seconds. And after Payback expires, gain a regeneration buff, recovering all of the damage taken while Payback was active over 5 seconds, and inflict a bleed debuff on the opponent, dealing 75% of all damage taken while Payback was active as direct damage over 5 seconds. And this bleed also scales as special attack damage. So yeah, this one, it seems like you use this buff, you get smacked because it recovers all of the damage taken, and then you bleed the opponent for, what is that, most of the damage you took. So yeah, this one, I don't know, man, it seems a little bit quirky, seems a little bit fun. I'm curious to see like how it works in practicality though. But yeah, I don't know if it's going to work with like Heimdall as well. If this works with a Heimdall synergy, this could be potentially really, really nuts. So yeah, I'm a bit curious about that one actually. The more I think about that card, the more it could have some very wacky uses. And then we've got Sumo Pool up next. So while either champion has a Fury effect, Platinumpool becomes unstoppable against the last hit of incoming Special 1, Special 2, and heavy attacks. Additionally, damage received from this hit cannot exceed 15% of the opponent's attack. And when Platinumpool is in either corner, gain a Fury buff, increasing attack rating by just over 2,000 until he leaves the corner. So this one kind of gives him like Dr. Doom's utility to recover. And also, while he's in the corner, a lot more damage as well. So this one could be very, very interesting. And then we got the 2 epic cards. So we got Special Surprise here. So when activating a special attack, gain 1 buff for each bar of power filled by the opponent, lasting 6 seconds. Buffs include Fury, Precision, Cruelty, Prowess, Unblockable, Indestructible, and Unstoppable. So yeah, the thing with this one is the buffs, they seem like they're going to have a very short duration, but I guess it depends on the potency of these buffs. If it's like a, you know, 5,000 attack Fury, then it's going to be pretty good. However, I'm just not really too sure. I guess you have the effect of whatever you trigger on the actual special attack as well, because it triggers on activation. So yeah, might be alright, that one, man. It certainly doesn't look too bad. And then we've got Mode Mixer. So rotate through light, medium, heavy attacks and special modes. Attacks associated with each mode gain an additional 5,190 attack rating. And all other attacks have a minus 80% attack rating. And modes rotate every 10 seconds. So yeah, this one seems a little bit nutty, but if you take advantage of it, I imagine it's going to be really, really good. If you get the one where, like, what is it, like medium attacks have, yeah, just like additional 5.2k attack. Gonna be hit really, really hard. Same with heavy attacks as well. So yeah, Mode Mixer actually seems really, really fun. But overall, again, when it comes to his cards and playstyle, everything's quite fun. It's quite quirky, a little bit different. But yeah, he seems fun, but there's nothing that kind of raises the eyebrows that this character is going to be like beyond god tier meta dominating. I think with certain combos, his attack might be able to go up really, really high along with his bleed damage as well, and he might lead to some impressive numbers, but there's going to be so much RNG and so much randomness for this character, and because of all that unpredictability and randomness, I don't really think he's going to be kind of the best character for a lot of content. However, is he going to be fun and quirky to play? I do think so. Then finally, we've got a signature ability which unlocks a very low chance to draw the legendary boost card, and also the signature ability says that increases the potency of all common card effects by 60%, so I'm not really too sure what the legendary boost card is. I don't know if it's this line or something else. I'm a little bit confused here. I feel like if this was its own thing, it's either intended to be a surprise for people that play this character as to what the legendary card actually does, or it's the second line here and it's just not very clear. I feel like if it was the description for legendary card booster, kind of be in this format. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused by the signature ability and the wording here, but hopefully the legendary boost is something different and very, very exciting, and this is kind of just a what is it, base benefit to the signature ability, because this doesn't seem like super legendary. It seems like a nice little benefit, but nothing like super crazy there, because the common cards really aren't like that OP for the most part. And then we have the synergy bonuses. So he's got one with Rogue, Star-Lord, Magic, Doctor Doom, and these all increase the chance of drawing a certain rare card, but also on top of that, he has a synergy with Scarlet Witch and Joe Fixit, which increases the potency of the epic cards by 30% on both. So a Mode Mixer, this one could be really good, because that attack bonus, man, is already massive on Mode Mixer. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how this one looks. But again, you have to draw the epic card, you've got to get lucky, and there's no way to guarantee it, and being an epic card, it's going to be quite a rare card to draw there. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that one, but I think you are going to have fights where you just draw like some ridiculous stuff on Goldpool and just have a lot of fun with this character. I just realized I called him Goldpool there. I meant to say Platinumpool, man. It's been a very long day, man. We've done a lot of breakdowns today, but overall, Platinumpool is looking like a very interesting addition. I'm very excited to play this character. Hopefully we can whale out and get our hands on all 5 of the pieces in order to combine him and summon for that 5-star crystal there. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on Platinumpool in the comments section below. Are you excited for this champion? Are you going to try go for him? Yeah, just let me know your thoughts and opinions. But aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.